Any attorneys today?
None that I see.
I didn't either. Taylor. Do you might know who Will Marie Moore could be? Any ideas?
What did you just say?
Will Marie Moore is someone in the batch that just logged in, and I just wondered if you had any clue. John. So someone named John.
You said Morris Jackson?
Somebody named Will Marie Moore. It may be a parent or something. I'm just wondering if it's familiar or if they have, right. Could we look and see if they have a case? That's probably our best approach. That way I know how to ask them, hey, who are you? Because sometimes people get put in last minute. Marie is what it said. Will Marie, Wilmarie. First name and last name Moore. You see anyone like that? There we go. That's the name. Okay, just print me the history because they could just be a parent, but I want to queue and see if she's trying to find something out about, or he, I can't tell. From female from the history, they might be having a question and could have been just pushed in to ask me. There's nothing, no history. Right, those are the history, not pending, right? Okay, but really just look again. Those are hers, right? 45 and a 30. Okay, because that didn't print on here. So both cases were dismissed. I bet it's a parent. They've got a child with them. Okay, all good. Okay, here we go. Let's see who just came in. User's iPhone. Seen these. Okay, they're all coming in now. Good morning. My name is Judge Person. I do welcome everybody to Temple Municipal Court. Thank you for logging in today. I do want to remind everyone that this is court, so keep the, not just your affect, but really keep your physical responses accordingly. You might just think about the fact that people can see everything, and we're on live YouTube. So just be aware of that. I do welcome everybody to court today. My name is Judge Person. And I do want to give a brief overview of how things work in a municipal court. I think it helps people to know the way things move through a court and some options that you might have along the way. So let's just start. And I call this kind of the 101. And first I want to introduce Nicole Warren, who is the city's prosecutor. Ms. Warren is waving at everybody right now. Thank you, Ms. Warren. And Ms. Warren is actually the prosecutor. She represents the state of Texas. And in the cases filed in the court, she's not working for me as the judge. She actually works directly for the city attorney and is given the authority that she has through the state of Texas. And I do want to let you know that, just to highlight that there are differences. And also to let you know, if you're on the pretrial docket today, which would be if you pled not guilty, then there will be a breakout room where you talk to Ms. Warren, and she will work with people as in the order that they've appeared. And she will also, move the cases forward. Sorry, I just recognized somebody that just came in. Move the cases forward either to a resolution or we will move the case then, if it's not resolved on that pretrial docket, to a final pretrial to set up the bond, to set up the court times, to set up the time we're going to actually bring a jury in potentially to hear those cases. So today is a preliminary matter if you've pled not guilty, okay? And we do that online. It's a little more convenient than having people have to take off work and so forth. I do want to let you know a couple of things, and these comments are directed to everyone, including people who have pled guilty or no contest or not guilty. When you move a case through a municipal court, how this works is that we receive what's called a complaint or a ticket. A ticket serves the same way as what we call a legal complaint. And when that happens, really that paper, that ticket, is an accusation. And you are presumed to be not guilty. And then when I ask for your plea, I'm asking you to make an answer or give a response to that accusation. And there are three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, and no contest. Now, if you plead guilty, you're saying, I did this. And if you plead no contest, you're not saying you did it. You're not saying you didn't do it. You're just saying, I want to move forward. I'm not going to say yes or no. I just want to move into sentencing without agreeing or disagreeing with the offense. So no contest is a neutral plea that moves you into sentencing options, okay? And I'll talk about those options in just a moment. If you plead not guilty, you're contesting the charge, which you have the absolute right to do. And that case will start heading toward trial. And the pretrial process, that breakout room today, is really part of heading toward trial. And usually you get set for 2 meetings. And the first one is this one today. And then the second one is here in the court. Again, a brief meeting. We schedule those at 15 kind of minute increments. And folks are then setting their bond, electing what kind of trial and so forth. And we're going to do those in a 2-part system, not to make it harder, but actually just to minimize the overall time that you have to be standing in a court. Now, if you plead no contest, we'll just be not guilty. We'll just move into scheduling those 2 meetings, and we'll need signatures today, and then you'll be free to go. If you're pleading, but then you'll have to come back. If you're pleading guilty or no contest, then we're going to move that case forward into sentencing. And once you're in sentencing, there are options still available to keep the item off your record. I have 4. And I want to just let everybody know exactly how those work. And I'll do that pretty quickly. And then when it's your turn, you'll of course have a time to speak, but also to ask questions. And you can ask questions about these options. So the 4 things are compliance dismissals, driver safety course options, deferred dispositions, and teen court. And the first one is sometimes you get ticketed for something that can be fixed or repaired, like a tail light that was out, and you were ticketed for not, for that offense, or your registration. That's probably the most common. And there are methods to get those dismissed that are called bringing the condition into compliance. And those compliance dismissals are very detail specific. If you have something like that, I'll just start walking through those details if you plead guilty or no contest to see if I can get you to that dismissal, okay? So I'll just take the reins at that point and try to get you there, because I assume, most people, if they're on this login process, they're interested in their case. I assume you're interested in it. I assume you've got time that you want to protect, of course. I assume you might be protecting money. I assume that you might have concerns about your record, even if you've pled guilty or no contest. And I'll be making those assumptions in how I treat you because I want to address those concerns. So the compliance dismissal is probably the easiest. If you qualify for something like that, I'll tell you. You can ask me, but I'm not going to wait for the question. Okay. The second one is a driver safety course option. Again, you have to qualify to be in the program and then complete it successfully. If you pre-qualify to be in that program, I'll ask if you want to do it. If you want to do it, we'll move in that direction. If you don't want to do it, we'll move in that direction. Some people don't want to go through that process and they're qualified and they've entered a plea that allows that, but they just don't want to do that. And that's okay. We can move in another direction. But what I do want to tell you regarding the driver safety course option that I think probably is a good thing to know is, and this kind of gives a little background, every ticket that's filed in a municipal court or a JP court for that matter has a court cost and a fine. Actually, everything you're accused of under the law. When you're found guilty or you're sentenced, there's a court cost and a fine. The court costs are set by the Texas legislature, and I can't control that. The fine is established by the judge. So in the driver safety course option, if you plead guilty or no contest and you are doing the driver safety course option, you pay the court costs. Again, the legislature setting that one. The fine goes on hold. And then you have a period of time to turn in your driving record, and it has to be the right kind of record, and your driving course, it has to be the right kind of course. And if you do those two things on time, I dismiss your ticket and that fine gets waived. Now, to pay the court cost and take the class and get the record is less expensive than the whole ticket, okay? And that's for a reason, because what we know is that when people are ticketed, they move into a higher bracket of risk for injury, death, and dismemberment on the roadway. Texas is the #1 state to be hurt. And so we incentivize the issue, and the city takes the fine. They don't take that fine because we value safety more, okay? So that's the policy by the legislature and the governor, and that's what we do. So if you qualify for that and you want to do it, we're going to push in that direction. If you say, I know I have that option, I really don't want to do it, that's okay. We'll just keep moving, okay, and see what else we might do. So that's number 2. The third option is a deferred disposition. And it's exactly what it says. Deferred means delay. Disposition means to make final. So I take your plea of guilty or no contest. I don't make it final. I wait. We put a document in place that I will need signatures on. Everybody's going to have to sign off on what we're doing next today. But and so we'll figure out each person what's going to work to do that. I'll be asking. But with the deferred disposition, we put an order in place that says X number of days. It's usually anywhere from 120 to 180 days. You have to not get more tickets, and not be cited or get a warrant and not fail to come to court. We'll sort out payment, and that's individual specific, and whether there's a course or a record due. And if you complete the things, which are mostly don't reoffend, get your payment, whatever we decide on that, done on time, get your record or your class turned in, on that deferred disposition, you get a dismissal. Now, you can get a deferred disposition in a Class C court just by asking the judge after you plead guilty or no contest, okay? The higher level courts, you can't. You have to talk to the prosecutor. The prosecutor can offer a deferred, and you can discuss that with her if you wish, if you're on the not guilty docket. But if you're not on that docket, if you're on, say, my docket, you can ask me. But the trick, and everything we worry about, what's the trick? What's the thing that I need to know, that the magic trick words? The magic trick words for a deferred disposition is to just plead guilty or no contest and say, Judge, I'd like a deferred. It's that easy, okay? So if you have questions about that, let me know. If you can't remember the name of it, just ask about that third option. But guilty, no contest, I'd like a deferred, and then the judge can say yes or no, okay? And, I lean in favor of those, but I've got to look at everything, and it's just individual specific on that. Okay, so that's the deferred. That's the third way. And I said there were 4. Teen court is the 4th, and that's really only for high school, middle school students who are currently enrolled. We can offer them a teen court option. It's a bit like a deferred. but it's less money for them because they normally don't have high paying jobs or any jobs. They're in school, and we try to work with their school schedule, and we just take extra care to figure that out. But if you're a teen and you have an offense, you are actually in the highest risk category, whether it's driving or a criminal offense. And we really want to talk to you, address it, and hope that you don't really wind up with ultimately something on your record. And I did want to confirm a few people, but I want to go ahead and start Miss Warren's docket. And give me just 1 second. Okay, so I have a few people I couldn't identify exactly, and I just want to check. But Miss Warren, your first person is actually Mike Pilkington. And Mr. Pilkington, Miss Warren, what I'm going to do is create a room for y'all to meet. And you'll get an invitation now that says, click to go to this meeting room. And that's a private place to have a conversation. That's a pretrial. And when you're done, you're going to come back into this room, this room, and we'll see what the decision is about where the case is going, if it's going to settlement or going to trial. And I need to look at it with you briefly before I let you go today. And so right now on that docket, I have Mr. Pilkington, Mr. West, Mr. Griffin, and Ms. Neely, and so far. And so just hold tight. We're going to just take those in the order that they've appeared. Okay, here we go. And I will let y'all have that meeting begin. Real quickly, for folks who have logged in and I can't tell who you are, and I just want to double check. A person named John, I'm going to ask you to unmute, and I think you're John Sesteda, but could you tell me your full name, please?
John Christopher Sestida.
Okay, great, Mr. Sestida. I will change the name on the screen so that I don't lose track of you. And I now know who that is and I won't lose track. So very good. And just hold tight. You're on the pretrial docket, and I've added you to that now that I know who you are. And we'll get to you soon. And then there is a person just named user's iPhone. I'm trying to find where that went. I guess they went off. And sometimes that's just I don't see that person anymore. So, and then there was a person named, let me find, user's iPhone. There you are. Let me ask you just real quickly, ma'am, if you could let me know, you're in a car, you've got a purple thing to the back of your headrest. Could you just
Letitia Peoples.
Peoples, thank you, Miss Peoples. There, I see you on my docket today. I'm going to go ahead and just change that name so that I don't lose track.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for helping me out with that so that I don't miss you, basically. So great. And then, and I'll mute you, but we'll get back to you. And then there was one more person named Wilmarie Moore. And could I just get you to unmute for a moment? Hi, what is your name?
Gary Williams.
Gary Williams. Okay. You're on the pretrial docket today. And I will make sure that I keep track of you. And we had this, we just didn't have the right name on there. Okay, very good. So I'm going to actually begin with Hunter Maynard. Let me find you, Hunter Maynard. Okay. And if you could unmute while I pull your file, okay? Mr. Maynard, good morning. How are you, sir?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. I do want to tell you that because you're 16, you're eligible for teen court. I have a plea. Are there two charges? Let's see, Hunter Allen Maynard. They're just on two different pages. Okay, and so there's a plea on one. I don't know if there's a plea on the other. I have the red light charge printed. I don't have, oh, it's one case. It just got put in there twice. Okay. Good, just the one case. We're good. And so I have a guilty plea and a request for teen court. Is that your plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll accept your plea and I will grant teen court. And what I want to ask you is, let's see, how long have you had a license?
Since November 14th, 2020.
Okay, so it's been just a few months, but you've had a course, but that's been back when you got the license. So I want you to go to another course, okay? And you'll need to pay for that course. The teen court fees here at the court are $20. Can you pay those teen court fees today?
Yes.
Okay, and can you come by and sign for your paperwork and we'll give you the directions for how to find the right class? And it'll be due, it's going to be a little bit quicker timetable. It'll be due June 29th.
Okay.
And then you can gain a dismissal. The reason I do a short timetable, teen court young people are really in the top bracket for death and dismemberment on the roadway. Okay, we really worry about your safety, want you safe. And what we know is that when you take that course, you're a lot safer for a period of time. That's just a proven statistic. I'm also a lot less likely to see you here for a ticket really ever again. But what I'll tell you is, you know, with teen court, the statistics are really clear. Young people who do teen court have literally, it's about 80% effective, okay? And without it, it's about 20. So a parent paying is really not the answer. The answer is minimize the parent involvement, maximize the young person's responsibility. That's what we're going to do. And so you'll have a quick turnover. You can do it online or you can do it live. We'll give you an option to pick, okay? And that will be at the front desk where you'll pay the $20 fee. Can you do that today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When can we expect you? How soon can we have you here?
Do I need to go with him?
You do, because he's 16, you'll have to sign off on it.
So 12 o'clock?
Sure. Okay, we'll look for you around that time. We encourage a mask, but you just come on in the lobby. Do you know where we're located?
Yes.
Okay, so you just come on in and it'll only take a few minutes. Literally, it's going to be about maybe 15 minutes and you'll get copies of everything. If you have additional questions, the clerk can answer. If the clerk is not able to answer a question, if it's something I have to ask, they'll just set you to meet with me so that I can answer any questions you have, okay?
Okay.
It's normally self-explanatory. Yes, ma'am?
Well, actually, we'll be there earlier. As soon as we're done with this, we'll go ahead and head in and get it
Okay.
taken.
We'll get the paperwork to the front as quickly as we can, okay?
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Any further questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to remove you from the meeting. Y'all can head on over. Take your time, no rush. Thank you. Ms. Warren, I see that you and Mr. Pilkington have had your discussion. Are we
Yes.
moving? And I'm going to ask him to unmute as well. Mr. Pilkington, go ahead there. And let's see, is there a resolution or are we moving to trial?
We are moving to trial. Mr. Pinkleton has asked for a bench trial at this time, but I know at
Okay.
the final pretrial, he will be given his full range of rights.
Okay, Mr. Pilkington, 3 o'clock on the 14th of July, we're going to see you here in the courtroom. At 3, if you're here, we'll probably be able to take you right away. We normally we don't stack those up
Okay.
anymore. We just move them in one at a time. So we'll
Let me-
see you at that time. It should be, yes, sir?
Is that the only time I have? I'm supposed to be out of town that day, I think.
Okay, so you need to
Um,
ask to reschedule?
Possibly. I can't, my schedule's on my phone and I'm talking to you on it, so I can't check for sure, but I think I'm supposed to be out of town that day.
Okay,
For
so
some
the
business.
email, yes, sir. So the email that we used to send you the meeting request for today,
Uh-huh.
use that email once you check your calendar and say, yes, the 14th works for me, or no, I really need to reset. And I'll treat that as a request for a change of date. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So just let us know.
Okay.
Okay. I'll remove you from the meeting. Do you have any further questions right now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Warren, we're going to move you to the next case, and that's actually going to be Michael Griffin. And Mr. Griffin, let me find you again. There you are, I think. Yes, there it is. And I'll send that to you. Just remember you're coming back into this room once that's done. I don't have any notes or comments. Just put a note that he might request a continuance. Thank you so much, Ms. Bush. And I'm moving forward then. And having gotten those documents ready, thank you for that quick turnaround. Excuse me. So my next person will be, I'm going to say it wrong, Dwante Robertson. Hopefully I said that right. And if not, you can let me know. Morning, Mr. Robertson. Are you able to connect to audio? The thing is, we won't be able to really do much. There we go. Perfect. Okay. If I can't hear you, but while you're connecting and unmuting yourself is what you're going to do next. I'm just going to look real quickly at what we have going on. Hi, how are you, Mr. Robertson?
How you doing? Well, I'm fine.
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, I'm just looking at the pleas that you sent in on the newer type cases that didn't have a plea. And I'm just confirming you pled no contest on those. And we had some older cases pending, and those are holding your license, which I know you would like to. I certainly would very much like to resolve all of those and get you moving in the right direction. So what I'm going to ask you is on the two new cases, the no DL charge is one of them, and the other is a charge for, let me find it again, excuse me. The other is a charge for running a red light, and you've pled no contest to those charges, yes? Okay, I'm going to take your nod as a
Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I just try to make sure, I just never want to be confused about what someone's telling me. And so I'm not trying to be pushy, but I'm trying to be thorough. So are you at True Mobile?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And are you the only income to your home?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have a spouse with you? Or the mother of the children, is she living in the home with y'all?
No.
Okay. Are you able to raise your right hand?
No, ma'am. She does.
Okay. Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the information you have provided on these forms is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. So just
Yes, ma'am.
looking, thank you very much. Just let me give a moment. I know you've asked for a payment plan, but I have a duty to see, that that's what will work, and what I need to do here. Do y'all get assistance like food stamps or utilities?
The mother of my children, she does. I don't receive them.
Okay, does she help you with food? Okay, and are
Yes,
y'all
she does.
Thank you. Are y'all all in the same household? Got it. It's just a
Ma'am,
delay.
she has her own place. I have my own place. But since I have our children, yeah.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. That makes sense. Okay, I'm showing that we could do a small payment plan and I can do some reductions, but I'm also showing that I could order community service. Which do you want to do?
Either way is fine. I mean, community service will be fine for me because I have to do community service already anyways because I'm on probation.
Okay, now probation has a little rule here. I just want to be careful with you and let you know this. If you do hours for them, they will not let you count those same hours for me. I used to allow it and people got crosswise with probation, and we don't want to get crosswise with probation. So you do theirs, you do ours, and they're separate events. So if you're going like
Understandable.
great. If you're going to a city place, they actually will have like, which are you signing in for? And just sign in for the right one that you're trying to do that day. Okay. Okay. Give me a moment. Let me figure out how many hours we need to get from you.
Okay.
What's this total, please? Okay. It turns into 20 hours and I'll be able to release the license that I have hold on. And you'll be able to, continue to pursue getting your license.
Okay.
Do you know what you need to do to get your license?
No, when I got released from jail, I had called the DPS people to see what was I supposed to do and all that. But that was right when COVID started, so I had made the appointment, and then when I went, it was just completely closed because I had got out right like when COVID started.
Okay, well, we'll get you back on track. But what I'm going to do is you're going to need to come over and sign some forms today. When can you come by?
I can come now if need be.
Okay, come on over. We'll try to get that ready for you. It's a number of cases, so we'll try to. You might wait a few minutes, not long. But I'm also going to add a packet for how to get your license back, and you can walk
Okay,
through it
where
and see.
do you need to come?
The Temple Municipal Court. So,
Okay.
yeah, do you know where we're located? We're 401 North
Okay.
3rd.
And one more question: Would they give me?
Will they what?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you ask?
Would they give me a paper? I'm sorry. Would they give me the paper to bring back to my job? Because I'm actually at work right now, but they know I'm handling this, so I just want to make sure everything would be covered.
Yes, they will. And really, as long as you get here before 5,
Okay.
we're good to go. But yeah, they will definitely give you a note. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Robertson. Just, I guess, head on over. That might be your best bet. Okay. We'll see you soon. I'm going to
Okay.
disconnect you though, so you don't drive.
I'm a head on right now.
Okay. Thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye. Okay, I don't see Miss Warren right now, so I'm going to move on forward. Let me just cross people off. And I believe we're going to talk to Mr. Bonds next. Jamal Bonds, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Give me a moment to get your case pulled up.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I did read through your file beforehand, and it does, I had a few questions, but first one would be, I got your plea forms, but you didn't check a plea. You checked some requests that you wanted, but no plea was entered. So let me just ask you there's a February 27th stop, and there are 4 offenses, and one is disregarding a flashing red light. And how are you pleading to that charge?
No contest.
And then there is a speeding, sorry, let me see that. What is that actually? 90 and a 40. And how are you pleading to that charge?
No contest.
And then there is failing to yield the right of way to an emergency vehicle. How are you pleading?
No contest.
And then there is violating the promise to appear not coming to court on time as per the ticket. How are you pleading?
No contest.
Okay. And then I also saw, let's see. One request for deferred, 2 requests for deferred. Let me look and see which one's on this one. Okay. 7, and then we have a new numbering system. Just forgive me. I'm still getting used to it. No
Yes, ma'am.
problem there. Let's see. Deferred, yes. Okay. Yeah, the same request. Okay, I'm not on everything. Are you working for Literati? Is that your place of employment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I know you had been in the military. Do you have any income coming from that service at this time?
No, ma'am. I'm completely out of the military.
Okay, and you're working, and so you're paid every 2 weeks?
Yes, ma'am. I'm paid on the 5th and 20th of every month.
And what does your paycheck look like? Is that the 875?
It's about 875. I haven't. This is only my 3rd check from them, and it's kind of fluctuated each time, so I'm not really sure. But that's about the like median number.
Okay, okay. And are you the only income to your home?
No, my wife is here, but we're going through a divorce currently. So
Are y'all living in the same home?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, is she assisting with bills at this time?
She pays my son like daycare. I pay all the household bills.
Okay, and your child you didn't list, what's the name of your child?
We'll have 4. You referring to?
Well, you listed no children, so I'm referring to them all.
Okay, yes. We'll have my 2 daughters and my 2 sons, Aubrey, Janiah, Adonis, and
Sorry, slow down. Tell me their names again.
Aubrey,
Aubrey and her last
Janiah.
name?
Oh, I'm sorry, Aubrey Bonds, my last name.
Okay, and Janiyah, did you say?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it Bonds?
Yes, ma'am.
So those are your 2 daughters.
Yes, ma'am.
And how old are they?
They are 11 and 10.
Janiyah being 10?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And your other 2 children?
Adonis Bonds.
Adonis?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that. All right.
I'm used to it. And how old is Adonis?
He just turned 8.
Okay. And then your other son?
Justin Bonds.
Justin. Okay.
Yes.
And how old is Justin?
He's 18 months.
Okay. All right. So little one, and are they all living? Sorry. Are they all living in the home with you?
No, ma'am. Just my son Justin, but I do pay child support on Adonis, and I do support my 2 daughters that are in Georgia.
Okay. Is that removed from your paycheck automatically, or do you have to write a separate check?
No, my son Adonis, that comes out of my paycheck automatically.
Okay. And the number you gave me reflects that having been removed for your paycheck?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Just want to understand you. Is the Dodge 778 a month?
I'm sorry.
The Dodge, is it 778 a month?
Yes, ma'am, my Ram, my 1500, yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I'm showing that you wouldn't be able to sustain this, and therefore I would order community service, okay? So explain to me, you want to defer on all the cases. I mean, I'm open to the idea. I'll tell you though, I'm going to require classes because these are things that are fairly serious in nature and also relatively obvious not to do, like 90 and a 40. So you would have to be willing to take a couple of classes to do that deferred. Are you willing to do that and gain
Yes,
that deferred? Okay, because you'll have community service to do, and then you'll have classes that you have to come up with the funds to pay for. I can't get you out of that part, but I can do the community service as the payment for the tickets themselves because you qualify. So it would be 92 hours, and I would grant 2 of the deferreds. I think the ones with they're potentially points on all of them, but the disregarding the flashing red light and the speeding are pretty serious, and the fail to yield right of way to the emergency vehicle as well can be serious. I'll grant it on the fail to yield the right of way and the disregarding flashing, but I'm going to require a driving safety course. And let me just check in about other options that we might have. Do you think there are any other? What do you think was going on with you? Because these are like 90's pretty clear. We don't do 90 anywhere.
Were you saying what happened what was going on at that time?
I mean, anything you think might help me understand it would really.
Well, yes, ma'am, that was back in 2014. I bought one of my first motorcycles. I was flying down the road, and I was in the tuck position. So he pulled me for the failure to yield to emergency vehicle. I didn't see him immediately. I was in the tuck position, but as soon as I did see him, I pulled right over, which is how everything happened. And I was coming off of what is that? I think that's West Adams right there. And at that time in 2014, those all that construction just wasn't there then. The new construction. So
there was construction there for 10 years, but really, honestly, 40 is the speed limit there. Why
yes,
90? Why 90?
I was just it was at night. I was on my bike. The road was kind of clear. It was a straight shot. There was really no good reason for it, but that's
fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, I just wanted to make sure there wasn't something I needed to know. But that's all. I see what you're talking about. I'll grant it for those 2 things. The other 2 will go straight hit. Okay, but the total number of hours on the whole thing is 92 hours. Okay, that's all 4 things. 2 of them, so on your deferreds, the hours will be different because they are part of the whole order or pieces on those 2 cases, and both are going to require a class. Can you come up here today? Because we're going to need signatures.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, when can we expect to look for you?
I can come up there right after the session ends.
Now, within the hour, maybe?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I will grant on disregarding flashing. And I'm granting on fail to yield right of way. Yes. We're going to do 150 because there's 2 classes. And I'm just going to tell you those classes in a moment. Because we'll include inserts in your paperwork so that you can see what classes you need to take, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And those will be due in 60 days, which is July 27th. And that's when your 92 hours is due. But I'm giving you a little extra time because it's just a lot. And, there's a lot here. So once we get all that in, then you're just not reoffending and we'll go from there, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Bonds, do you have any questions right now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Once you get here, you'll sit down and just We do encourage face coverings, but sit down, you'll read everything through and sign it. If you have further questions, the clerks will answer. If they can't, you can meet with me again if you need to, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have anything else?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and remove you from the meeting, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And head over safely.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Everybody give me just one quick moment. What do I have available for him to take? Maybe life skills. It's a short one, but it's like decision making is sort of the deal. but- We'll do a 4-hour. Yes. And one driving safety course. Put one on each. I would say on the fail to yield, put the life skills. It's the most rational place to put it. And the disregarding flashing red, the driving safety course. And then the hours on those two of the 92. Let me just give you those. Yes. Yes. And on the disregarding flashing red, that's 22 hours of those 92. On the fail to yield, it's also 22. And that means that on the other two, 24 on each of those, that should total 92. And so 92 hours for the community service order, right, of the big order, and guilty findings on the VPTA, and on the speeding, deferred on the other two, and the two each have a class. Does that make sense? 180-day deferral. Let's do 180 because I have anticipate him needing more time potentially. Do you feel like you know what you are working toward?
What I have is 92 hours for 4 places.
Yes.
And we did 720, 720, and the pearl hunting, that's back in the board to yield right away. 4 hours of life skill class. And this people.
Yes, that's right. And here's some cheat notes. Okay. And on the, just make sure the due date on the hours and the classes, that's all 7/27. Yes. Yes. And then the life skills 4 hours. Yeah. Make sense? Okay, I just wanted to make sure the clerk was getting those orders ready. And Ms. Warren, let me just pull Mr. Griffin's file. We were talking with I'm sorry. Were we talking with Michael Griffin? Is that who you visited with?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Griffin, I'm going to ask you to unmute as well. And Ms. Warren, if I could, are we heading toward trial or are we heading to resolution?
Your Honor, this case is resolved. I'm going to submit a dismissal in the interest of justice based on the information that was provided.
Okay, are you providing that or are we working at your direction?
Yes, I will provide it.
Okay. Mr. Griffin, I will sign that. She should get that to me later today or sometime today. And you can expect that that would be signed today. And if you need a copy, you can swing by tomorrow and just get a copy of it, okay? Yeah, can we email to him his copy? Okay, we'll email a copy to you
Okay.
once I sign it. Okay, I will accept that. And Mr. Griffin, I'll let you be excused from the meeting.
Okay.
And if you don't see that document in your inbox by today, just call tomorrow and check on it, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. And Ms. Warren, we're moving next to, your next person is, let's see, I just have to, did you meet with Frank West already?
No.
He is
Mm-mm.
next. Okay, he is next. So Mr. West, I'm going to send you over to that meeting.
Thank you.
And thank you. And let me find you here. There we go. And just remember, we're coming back.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Ms. Warren. Thank y'all both. And let me just move this over for a minute. All right, my next person to work with is Cody Snow. And Mr. Snow, let me have you unmute while I pull my file.
Yes, ma'am.
Just give me a moment to catch up with you.
All right, take your time.
Yes. Okay. Mr. Snow, I already have a plea on the case. And it's from the March, and it was an open container charge. And so I did get your note about community service. You've recently lost income. So I'm looking at your file. I can definitely order community service. You're still working on getting employed at this time?
I work part-time right now with my father, but
Where are you working?
part-time with my father. He owns a
Oh.
business in Morgan. I'm at his
Okay.
house right now waiting.
And your family, you're working for family, do I understand? Okay.
Just one.
What's your take-home pay from that?
I make up, I don't know, about $12 an hour, and I work about 3 days a week. So I don't know, probably 300. But
Like every 2 weeks?
yeah, something like that. Do I have the opportunity to set the charge out or no?
To sit it out? No.
Had to ask.
Were you taken to jail?
No.
Okay.
They released me right there.
Okay. So looking, I can do community service, and that's going to be 13 hours,
Okay, that's fine.
and that'll be due. I'm just going to give you extra time up front because with COVID, there are less opportunities than there used to be. So July 27th, but if you get it done earlier, you can turn it in earlier.
Yes, ma'am.
I need you to come by to sign the order and pick up the packet that tells you all the rules about doing community service and also the places that are eligible. Can you swing by here today?
I will try to make it this evening. If I cannot, may I come in the morning?
You know, it's really important to get your signature today. Can we email it to you, have you print it and scan it and send it back to us?
It'd be easier for me to come in. I don't have a computer into that.
Okay, we'll have you come by before 4, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll see you at the clerk's window. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving along. My next person to talk to is going to be Michael Franklin. And Mr. Franklin, let me get your case pulled up, your file. Give me just a quick moment. Right now, we have balances owed for 2 cases. And let me just look at your information real quickly.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm reading your notes real quickly. And let me look at the financial circumstances. Sorry? Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm that the information you're providing is true, correct, and accurate, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And let me just do some calculations. Give me a moment. Is your wife paid every 2 weeks?
Yes.
Okay. Do y'all still get food stamps?
Not currently.
Okay, so that's done.
Yes.
Do all 4 children live in the home with y'all full time?
Yes.
Okay, anyone paying child support for any of the children?
No.
Okay. Is it ordered on your stepdaughter?
I think it's ordered on her, but he never really pays it.
Do you know if the Attorney General is helping your wife with that issue?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Are y'all paying out some medical bills?
Yes.
Okay. I can order community service. Let me give you that number. We do community service throughout the community of Temple. I actually will take community service from any nonprofit under the laws of the state of Texas. But I have a list of places that I know are friendly to it. I'm going to make it turns into 30 hours due on July 27th. If you can't get it all done, you need to come in or email us to get an extension. Okay. And what I'm going to tell you at this point is just get your hours done and I'll zero out your balance. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, can you come by today?
Yes.
Okay. When should we look for you?
I could probably do it right after this.
Okay. We've got a lot of paperwork we're working. We'll try to get everything to the front desk for you by then. But just come on in and let the clerk know you're here to sign off for your community service. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Franklin. Do you have any further questions right now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. When you're here, just read everything real carefully before you leave. Make sure you don't have questions that need answering. If you do, a clerk will try to give you the answers. And if the clerk knows it's beyond their authority, they'll just bump the question to me. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. My next person is going to be Mr. Nathan Lim. And Mr. Lim, if you will, go ahead and unmute. And while you're doing that, I'm going to pull your file.
Yes, ma'am.
You're 18. Are you still in high school?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you go to school?
Temple High School.
Okay. What grade are you in? You senior?
11th grade. Junior right now.
Great. You got a little more time. That's not bad. That's a good thing. And so I did get your paperwork. Okay. And
Yes, ma'am.
it does look to me like you've entered a plea of guilty.
Yes, ma'am.
I am asking you, do you understand pleading guilty means we're going to move into sentencing?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea. And I do want to ask you, and I'm just kind of reading what you said. Was there an accident?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did insurance cover that accident?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody hurt as far as you know?
No, ma'am.
You weren't hurt either, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I read your note. You didn't think a car was coming, and turns out there was a car coming, and I guess it hit you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Or you hit it. Which was it?
I hit her.
Okay. So I can do teen court. Teen court has a $20 fee associated with it, and I need to get that today. Can we do that?
Yes, ma'am.
And then there is a class that you'll take. How long have you had a license?
For about, hold on. I got my license on November 14, 2020. So about half of a year right now.
Okay, we're gonna just renew that class, okay? We're gonna have you take another class, and that's gonna be due on the 29th of June, okay?
I actually have a question about it.
Sure.
So I go to Korea on May 31st over the whole summer break, which is about 2.5 months.
Okay.
And I come back on August 17th.
So that's not that teen court has a limit of 60-day time frame. I'm gonna say you need to get online and take your class like tomorrow.
Oh,
And
can I
get
do
it
it
to us.
online?
Yeah, you can take it online.
Do you know how long it's going to take?
It's gonna take 6 of your hours.
6 hours. Got it. So
But
I
you can
come by
log in and out, like
Oh,
you can
got it.
take it over a day, but you could like take 2 hours, take a break, take 2 hours, take a break,
Yes, ma'am.
it's just sections and you do those sections. And when you end a section, you can log out and log back in and not lose your place.
Yes, ma'am. So if I finish that course, then
And
it's
turn it in.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and when you turn in the court, you've got to pick up your paperwork today and pay the $20 and turn your class in no later than June 29th. So if you just got it done before you left and turned it in, I would go ahead and dismiss it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, can you head on over?
Yes, ma'am. I'll go. Can I be there before 4?
Yes.
Got it.
Okay, we'll see you then, okay?
Okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much, ma'am.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and just take these. Let me tell you that he's not coming. This guy's coming sooner than these two, so let me hand you those, okay? Okay. And Ms. Warren, give me just a moment. We're playing a little catch up here. Okay. So Ms. Warren and Mr. West, let me unmute you as well. Are we moving to resolution or do we have a need to move toward trial?
Your Honor, we are moving to resolution. Mr. West has changed his plea to no contest and is requesting a deferred. We did not discuss in detail his payment options.
Okay. Does the state have any objection to the defer?
No objections, Your Honor.
Okay. And do you have any conditions that you are asking to be imposed other than the court working out the payment issue?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Warren. And Mr. West, thank you. Hold on just a moment and I'll work with you further. I do want to let Ms. Warren move forward with Tequila Neely. And I believe she might be on phone. No, it looks like we can unmute and ask you, Ms. Neely, to go ahead and activate video, please. And then I'll send a request over to you. You'll communicate better if there's visual contact. Thank you. So just click on that. Thank you, ma'am. Click on that invitation. And when you're done discussing, Ms. Warren and you will come back in this room, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Neely. Mr. West, let me double check. Do we have any income information for Mr. West? We're looking. Did you fill out a financial affidavit?
Not yet. I'm
Okay.
trying to make a decision if I'm going to pay it out or not.
Well,
have
I
the
mean,
money, but-
I actually make the decision about that based on income. So let me just tell you the options though. If you're paying it in full today, I don't have to get that form from you.
Right.
If you're not paying it in full today, I have to have that form to back up my decisions. So I don't mind delaying a tiny little bit to send those forms to you, have you fill them out, send them back. We'll stay in the meeting to get it done because we need to complete it today.
Yeah, I
The
understand.
paperwork part. So what do you want to just do payment today and be done with it? Or do you need?
What is the payment? What's the total?
It's $296.
How much?
$296.
296. I can do that. Yeah.
Okay, today?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So there's payment today, and that does actually shorten your deferred in this case to September 28th. Are you able to come by, make payment, and sign your order?
Yes. Do you do credit card or debit card?
I believe we can on it. Can we do debit credit? Yes, yes. I'm sorry,
Okay.
I'm learning our new system. Yes, the clerk can take payment that way. Mhm.
Okay.
And we can get your document to the front desk pretty quickly. Can you head over in the next hour?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'll grant the deferred, and if you just don't reoffend is what it's really going to say. And it will say don't get warrants, don't get arrested, pay on time. You can check that one off today. If you get summoned to court or have a court date, be on time to court and don't get more offenses. And if you do that, it's a good behavior thing for 120 days, then we do the dismissal.
I understand.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'll accept your plea. I'll put that deferred in place. It'll be at the front desk. I would say give us about 45 minutes or so.
Okay.
And then you'll sign it. You'll get a copy. You'll get a receipt, staple it all together. If it were me on a deferred, I would always call 2 weeks ahead of time the end date and just make sure there wasn't any hiccups. There's not likely to be. There's not much to do, but I would just do that. And then, you can look for the dismissal. And once the dismissal happens, you can swing by or email us and get a copy sent to you.
Wonderful.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Give me just one moment. Okay, here we go. Thank you. And this is on Lim. I've signed that one. Thank you very much. This is on West. We've got West solved. Thank you so much. It's going very smoothly. How are you doing, Mr. Wanda? She feels discombobulated, but she's doing great. Yeah, that one was complicated. Yeah, I threw you a curveball there. Here we go. Let me hand you Wes. Okay. All right. We're good. And need that. And let me just reorient for just a moment, everybody. Give me just a moment. Hi, Ms. Peoples. Let's see. I think you're coming up. And I believe she is visiting with Ms. Neely. And we are talking to Miss Letitia Peoples. Miss Peoples, I'm pulling your file. How are you this morning? How are you this morning, Miss Peoples? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me ask you to unmute.
Yes, ma'am,
How
I'm
are
doing
you?
fine.
Good, good. Give me a quick moment. I have somebody who's coming in late, and I'm going to admit him and just kind of ask him why so late. And
Okay.
then I'll be right. You're actually next. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Kilo,
Yes, they are.
so why are you this late? This court started at 9. Everybody else was here.
I overslept. I had a rough night last night. I was up doing online classes for my job that I had just recently got.
Okay, okay. Well, I'll work with you. It's just you're kind of towards the back of the line right now, but I'll let
Alrighty.
you stay. I'll let you stay in the meeting. Just hang
Okay.
out, but keep video on, stay awake, and, you know, you're in court, so don't be inappropriate, falling asleep and stuff, okay? But we'll try to get to you as quickly as we can, okay? Okay. Ms. Warren and Ms. Neely, I'm gonna go ahead and just take what you got there. Are we moving to resolution or to, sorry, Ms. Neely, I'll ask you to unmute, that is. Thank you. Ms. Warren, are we heading to resolution or to trial?
Yes, Your Honor, I've dismissed that case based on, I believe it's identity theft, and I will
Okay.
submit that dismissal.
Okay, so Ms. Neely, we're gonna send you a copy of that once I sign it. We'll email it to the email that you used to set up the meeting. And you can just look for that today sometime. If you don't have it today, you can check on it tomorrow, but we should get that to you. Just check your inbox, okay?
Okay,
Ms.
thank
Warren
you.
Ms. Warren will likely send it right after court, and then I'll sign it. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Neely.
Thank you. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank
Y'all
you.
have a good day.
Thank you,
too.
Ms. Neely. I'll
Thank you.
remove you.
Okay.
And Ms. Warren, thank you for that insight. And then we're moving next to John Staida. I'm going to say it wrong every time, but, and I believe he can go ahead and start video. There we go. Unmute, and we'll send you to that meeting space.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Peoples, thanks for your patience. And,
Yes, ma'am.
so let's see. Let me just look real quickly. I think that you pled no contest. And we just want to move forward with your cases. And I did get your notes and information, and thank you for that. Let me ask you to raise your right hand. You're not driving, right?
No, ma'am.
You're parked, yeah. Do you swear or affirm that the information you're providing is true, correct, and accurate, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Just checking and reviewing that. Okay, you're a cook. Great.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. And do they pay y'all every 2 weeks there, or is it twice a month?
Every 2 weeks
Okay, so like what day of the week is it?
on Thursdays.
On Thursday.
Every other Thursday.
Gotcha. Do you, are you still receiving food stamps?
Yes, ma'am.
And let's see. The kids are all living with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And does anyone help you with the children? Do they pay child support?
No, ma'am.
Was it been ordered?
Yes, ma'am, but they're in prison at the time.
Okay. So I understand. I can order community service.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me get that number for you.
Okay.
Are you able to come over today and just sign your documents?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let me see. Okay, hold on, I've gotten two numbers. There we go. Okay. It turns into 43 hours. And that's going to be due. I'm going to give you 60 days.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's due July 27th.
Yes,
If you
ma'am.
find that you need more time, I just want you to stay on time, okay? So if
Okay.
you can't get it done, then no later than that date or right before, email or email us or come by and say, hey, I need more time. And I usually will grant that. Just kind of give me a progress report when you do that. Like, hey, you know, I just need more time, but this is how many hours I've done and this is where I'm going to do it. And that'll be sufficient to just give you more time. If you get it turned in, you just turn it in. Okay. And if you swing by to turn it
Okay.
in, we'll give you a copy for your records, which I always think is good to keep up with. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So come on by. We'll have it at the front for you, and it'll be instructions, a timesheet, and the list of places that I know are pretty friendly to those requests. Okay, Ms. Peoples?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you for your time today, and we'll have things ready. Probably give us an hour, but we should have it ready pretty shortly. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Here we go.
Yes, ma'am.
You take care. Stay well.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay. That has Great. Okay. So let me see who we have not covered. Let's see. We still have Mr. Kilo. We'll be right with you, Mr. Kilo. Ms. Bush is here. Ms. Taylor, I'll ask you to unmute and to start your video. It will help. It does help if I can see you and you can see me, but sometimes it makes audio. Say your full name for me.
Taylor Babineau.
Babineau, okay. I did receive your information. It does look like you've pled no contest on all of the cases, all three of them. Is that your understanding too?
Yes.
Okay. And you were looking for a payment plan. I guess I had a question because to me, I looked at your income and it just looked like a payment plan would be a challenge, and you're eligible for community service if you want to go that route.
Well, I already have to do community service for probation, but I asked for a payment plan because I was only working part-time then, but I'm working full-time now.
Okay.
And that's why I explained to them and they just said I had to tell you that. So.
Okay. All right. Your income changed then from what you've provided?
Yeah, I was only working part-time, but now I work 45 hours a week.
Okay. What's your paycheck look like? When are you paid?
I get paid every 2 weeks.
What day of the week?
Tuesday.
Okay.
So
And
I'll get paid not this coming Tuesday, but the following Tuesday.
And what's your paycheck look like?
I'm not sure. I haven't got my paycheck since I went full time.
Okay.
But I make 13 an hour, so.
Okay. All right. I can go ahead and order a payment plan. What I'll say is maybe next Tuesday, let's start with $30 on Tuesday. You can always pay more, and it'll just be a minimum of $30 every 2 weeks, beginning with Tuesday, I believe is the first.
Yes.
And I do need you to come by and sign for that today, or we can, okay. When could we look for you?
I get off at 3:30, so I'll be there right after 3:30.
Okay, by 4-ish.
Yes.
Okay, we'll have a payment plan set up at the front desk. And you just come by at that point and sign and get your copies, and they can tell you all the options for paying online or by phone, etc. Okay?
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Warren, I'll be right with you. I've accepted the pleas, and it's $30 every 2 weeks, beginning 6/1. She'll come by today. Ms. Warren, I know you were speaking with John Sestata. I'm just wrong every time, I'm sure. And sir, I'll ask you to go visual and unmute. Are we heading to resolution, Ms. Warren, or toward trial?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sestacia did change his plea to no contest. And we did discuss some circumstances that were mitigating.
Okay,
I reduced the fine to $25 instead of the 50 based on that. And then
okay,
he also has some financial hardships, and I said he has to discuss that with you.
okay. Thank you, Ms. Warren.
Mhm.
Let me double check your docket, Mr. Sestita. Did I get that right? Sestita,
Sestita.
I'm sorry. My brain, I have other people with that name and it's different pronunciation. So I'll
It's
just,
fine. It's not the worst I've ever heard, so.
okay, just hold tight. I'll be right with you. Ms. Warren, let me just double check your docket because I want to say that you're completed.
I
Let's
think
see.
Mr. Williams Gray is on my.
There we go. Gary Williams. I'm sorry, Mr. Williams. I will send you that breakout room request.
Okay,
Thank
Gary.
you, Ms. Warren. And just accept that and we'll see you at the end, okay? Thanks, Ms. Warren, for pointing that out. Great. Okay, Mr. Sestita, let me just look at everything real quickly. I know you've already submitted the information. And Ms. Warren's reduction I can do directly, but let me just check on everything. Are you still at Big John's?
What
Are you still
what is
working?
the fine on that? I'm sorry. I
So
didn't
the
get that from
fine is
her.
yes, the fine is a mandated $50 by state law. The rest is a, oh no. Can you hit the little pie chart at the top? Let me just see it real quickly. It didn't take. Sorry, just click it one more time. It didn't.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, right. So the fine was, we already did the reduction. The fine was $50. She reduced it to 25. The
Okay.
legislature have those court costs set at 134. And
Okay.
that money goes to the state. It doesn't stay in Temple for streets and roads like fines do. Fines go to the general coffer of the city and they use that for public works. The state costs go to the state, and I'm not going to tell you what they do with them because I don't really know. So I did want to ask you some income information. Is that, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you did fill out the forms for us and you signed them.
Yes,
And that was under oath and we're good there. Do your son and daughter live in the home with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I guess I was going to also ask, your spouse still with TISD?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you're at Big John's. Is that still true?
Yes, ma'am.
I know it's just been a couple weeks, but today is what I'm looking at. And so what I would ask is your income like standard, like every week?
Yes, ma'am. I get paid a salary every week.
Okay. And is that still coming in at $500?
Yes, it's around a little less than 6.
Okay. Your mortgage, it says 1,200 plus. Is that including your taxes?
Yes, ma'am. I'm not sure the precise number. We just pay it online, go in and click a button and pay for it.
I understand. Do you need more than 30 days to make payment? Your total right now is, what is this total now?
160.
No, it's the new total. It was 184. It's 159.
Okay.
Okay. Do you need more than 30 days to pay that in full?
Yeah, let me do that
It
because,
adds $15. That's why I asked.
okay.
That's a mandated thing. I can't get rid of it.
So when would I have to have the full total paid by?
So to avoid the $15, okay, 30 days from, on the 31st day from today, it goes on. So I can give you 30 days to pay.
Okay,
And if you think you can get it done, you could try. And if you can't, you just would need to come in and set up the rest of it onto a payment plan. But that $15 will automatically add at 15 days. It's a requirement. It used to be more. We got it reduced. I don't heaven knows how from the legislature, but it's mandated.
okay.
So
And-
we can try for 30 days and see. And if you can't get it done, then you just know, like, I've got to add that in and come into the court and make payments so I don't get a warrant.
Okay. And what if I was to, would I be able to do community service? Is
You're
that a
not
possibility?
eligible. No, you're
Not
not
eligible?
eligible for that.
Okay. All right. Well then I guess I'll just pay it then.
Okay, we'll do 30 days to pay. And you're going to come by and sign off on that today?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And then we'll just, we'll go from there. Okay, we'll see. When would you come by?
I'm right down the road. I can be there here in a few or however long you need me to wait.
That'll be fine. Come on by.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Kylo, is it Kylo or Kilo?
It's Kylo.
Great, Mr. Kylo. Let's see. Give me a moment. You're 21. Service. Where are you working?
I am currently, I just got hired on Monday at a True Green
Where? True Green?
True Green.
Great.
And their closest office is in Round Rock, so I'm constantly having to go back and forth.
Yeah, got it. What is your income looking like?
I haven't gotten paid yet. I get paid weekly on Fridays, but I'm still going through training, so I don't know if it's paid training or not.
Right. Do you know your hourly rate?
It's 16 an hour.
Okay. And your spouse, are y'all living in the same household?
Yes, ma'am. We're currently looking for a new place. The owner of the house is coming back from overseas.
Okay.
And is renovating the entire house.
Okay. And so your spouse not currently working?
No, she just sent in an application from one of the recruiters from Track Phone sometime last week, near the end of the week.
Okay. And car insurance, do y'all have car insurance?
We don't have, I had got the truck the way it is, and I have to have everything fixed. A couple weeks ago, I just lost my headlamp. So I have to get a new headlamp. I have to figure out what's going on with my blinkers and brakes.
Okay.
I got to get new tires.
Okay, so I can kind of do a few things here, okay? I could order community service, no problem. If we did that, let me just let you know what you would be looking at, doing as an obligation. It would be 22 hours. And I can work with you on time. Like I could give you 60 days, and if you turn in 5 hours and ask for more time, I can give you 60 more days. So I can work with you on that. I know it's a little overwhelming to think about now setting that up, but it's fairly simple. You call and say, what do I need to do to be there? And then you go. And you can kind of work that according to your schedule. That's the other good news about that is there's a lot of options. Okay. I could also lower the amount that you pay on these and just drop you to $20 a month and start that in 30 days. And then if you see that you can pay more, you can pay more and get done faster. If you make your minimum payment, you're good with and won't get a warrant. If you see that you can't even do that much, we can switch to community service, but you'd have to talk to me about it. So, which I'm going to let you tell me what's going to work.
Community service.
Okay.
I can do community service.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and order community service. And then I'm going to say it's currently due July 27th. And if you need more time, bring me your progress, bring me what you've done, turn it in and ask for more time, or you can email that information over to the court. Okay.
Alrighty.
But I like to kind of see where you're going and make sure we don't have any hiccups. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And if you don't have it set up to do, tell me that too. You can be honest. But it's good to see, a little progress. I like seeing a little progress, and I like seeing where, because sometimes I get people who aren't going to a place that's going to count, and then they get an extension and they feel like really excited they did it, and then we say to them that didn't count because they'll go somewhere that is not a nonprofit,
Right.
and then they'll exclude their hours, and then they're upset because we didn't know we were going to reject it because we didn't know where they were going. So I like to see it just to get eyes on it. But Mr. Kylo, I'll grant community service. I'm going to need you to come by and sign for that. What time can you get here today? We can email it too, and you can sign it and email it back to us either as a photograph or as a scanned item.
I can do in person. I'll be there here shortly.
Okay. All right. We'll have it ready for you. Okay.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Keep trying. You'll get there. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. That's signed. And Ms. Warren, thank you. Let me pull up the, here's the top of his, sorry. Thank you. Mr. Williams. And Mr. Williams, you can unmute so we can all talk. And Ms. Warren, are we heading to trial or toward resolution?
I believe that we're headed to a resolution in this case, Your Honor.
Okay.
It may be resolved before the next hearing, but I have advised Mr. Williams to appear if it's not resolved.
Okay. So Mr. Williams, learning about whether it's resolved, it doesn't mean you think it's resolved. It doesn't even mean if Ms. Warren thinks it's resolved, although y'all both have input on that. What it means is, did the judge take it off the docket? So I will say to you, call the day before your next hearing, because that's an in-person hearing. And it's, I believe, July 14th. Let me just double check the time. Thank you so much, Ms. Bush. And that would be 3:00 on the 14th. And we'll plan to see you unless I've removed it. So just call the day before at the end of the day, like 4, and check. And if they say that's still on the docket, that means come on in the next day and we'll just check and see. There could be, sometimes there's confusion. Sometimes it just is not resolved. So we'll look for you unless it's removed from the docket. Okay. Okay.
I understand.
Okay. Any questions?
Not for me.
Okay. I'll remove you from the meeting because we're done.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you. And Ms. Warren, thank you for a productive day.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you,
Yes.
because Mr. Chaplin did meet the requirements for a dismissal in his case, but he didn't appear, so he may have shot himself in the foot. Did he ask for a continuance or did he not just not appear.
So let me look into that real quickly. Sometimes people think I don't have to be there because it's being dismissed. Sometimes they just didn't do anything.
Yeah, I don't think he had an indication of what
Let me look
maybe
at the file.
happened.
Just give me a quick moment. Let me look at the file and see if he turned anything in, because,
Yeah, I did check the record and he is eligible, so it just seems a shame that he.
sometimes people ask for a continuance. I always suggest, I don't like defaulting people on formality unless it's really a snub. And it's of course hard to know which,
Yeah.
but he has been very dutiful and he doesn't have any old cases with us at
Right,
all.
that's what I saw. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and submit the dismissal that I had planned for him had he shown, because he is eligible and it shows that in the state record.
Okay, are you gonna send that over to us?
Yes,
Okay, we'll look for all that paperwork from you. I know you've got a couple
I'm doing that
things.
right now.
I know you've got a couple of things, but we'll be here. We sit and process paperwork and check and double check everything when we log out. So we'll be doing that. We'll look for those motions from you. And I do thank you for a very productive day today.
Okay, thank you.
Nice
Y'all have
to
a good
see
rest of your day.
Thank you. You too, ma'am.